Hi, and welcome to another STEAM Kids virtual classroom here at the Colorado Model Railroad Museum. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Misty.
And we're here to do a lesson today on parachuting. Should be really fun.
Yes.
So let's thank our sponsors, Union Pacific Foundation, for sponsoring this entire program this month. We really appreciate that. And Greeley Station for your production. Thank you so much.
Yes, we wouldn't be here without these amazing entities. Thank you. Now, you said parachuting, but it's not just any kind of parachuting we're going to be working with today, right?
We're going to parachute a dinosaur.
What?
I mean, who gets to do that?
Oh my gosh! Now, is this a good time to also talk a little bit about why we have dinosaurs on our layout, since we are talking about a parachuting dinosaur?
That would probably be a really good idea.
Yeah.
And why do you get a dinosaur when you come here? Why are we the train museum where you walk out with a dinosaur?
It's more than just finding the 10 dinosaurs on the layout, right? Or 5
really
that we
is.
asked for.
When this museum was being built, the man who built it, he belonged to a club and would visit other home layouts. And Colorado, as a state, is very fossil rich, which we should remember from our paleontology
Absolutely.
lessons. Well, when you visit home layouts in Colorado, a lot of them have a dinosaur hidden on them, just one. And so you hunt for that, and it's just kind of a known thing that model railroaders do. So when Dave Trussell opened this layout, he had 10 dinosaurs on it because it's so big, you would have time to hunt for 10. We've had so much fun doing it. It's just become part of who we are. And so, when you find 10 dinosaurs here, or even 5, you get a little prize, the little dinosaur that we used in paleontology.
Yes.
Those little ones. And so we have those all over the place here. They're just kind of part of who we are. So, but you know what? You can actually tie it together. Remember when we were talking about energy sources and fossil fuels?
Mm-hmm.
You know that locomotives use fossil fuels to run. And so we really need dinosaurs to run trains today. So they're all tied together.
All right.
So let's look in your kit and see what we need today. We're going to need the coffee filter, which we folded up so they would fit nicer in there.
Yes.
And you're going to need...
And we did 2 because, you can try it with 1, or you can try it with 2. You can also, you can get a jump start on the next lesson too, and you can grab a small toy from your toy box, or maybe try to parachute a car and what that looks like compared to a dinosaur.
Right. So we gave you 2. So we're only going to work with 1 with the dinosaur, and then you have a spare to play with. You need a dinosaur. Looks like mine's a swimming dinosaur. The string that's on a paper clip to keep it from knotting up.
Yes, I have that.
We're also going to use something from our next lesson, which is this little stick, which is actually you need to put back in when we're done with using it, because it goes with the air-powered car in that lesson.
Now, we have not done this before today, but I'm going to just try to use a bag while Michelle's going to use the coffee filter, just to see what might come out of that too.
Yep.
So I'm completely making this
and then
part.
we're going to talk about the lesson. So you're going to take your coffee filter from your kit, and they were folded pretty square. So that's going to help you find 4 corners. So you need to lay it out, and you're going to use that stick because it has a sharp point. You could use a pencil. We're pretty good at poking holes with pencils here on this show.
We are.
But this stick puts a smaller hole than a pencil, so I think it's going to be perfect. Now, when you poke your hole for your parachute, you need 4 of them, but you do not want to do it like right on the edge because that's just going to tear out. You need to come in maybe a 1/2 inch or so. So I'm actually going to poke my hole about right there and put a little hole. And now I can go to the opposite side from there, out here. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. And then I have this square to kind of help me from the fold. And look, I think it's going to be about right there. And then turn it. And here's the square in the corner. So we're going to put it right here. So now we have the holes ready to tie the string through. So now we can put this back in the kit. We don't lose it for next lesson.
And if this doesn't work out with the plastic bag, I'm just going to go back to the filter myself.
Yep, you could do that. Now you need to get your string off of your paper clip, which mine's a little tangled, so it might take me a second to get it undone. But if you just work with it carefully, you have to look at the way the paper clip is made and slide it around so it doesn't get hung. Now, we need to pull our string all the way out because we're going to cut it into 4 equal parts. And I like to do halves and halves with string.
You know, it would be really cool. There is a certain store that has bags that have this giant round circle on it that would probably make a really cool looking parachute if you're using
It might be
a plastic bag.
The red circles.
Yeah, like
circles.
yes, yes.
Okay, I have taken my string and folded it in half. See, I have 2 ends in this finger, and then the other end, when I pull it tight, is here. So I'm going to take my scissors and cut it there. Right there. And then, if I can get the instructions out of the way, then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go end to end, shake it out. I got a little crazy there. Fold it in half, hold all 4 ends, pull it out. That's going to be about halfway.
If we were working with yarn, I don't know that this would be so easy.
We had to use a small string with this because yarn has a lot of weight to it.
Wow.
And bulk, so it would be a little heavier with the Dinosaur.
Do you think for those
I'm going to lay
who
out 4 strings now.
might want to try this on their own time too, like thread?
Thread would
from
be
sewing
really good
machine?
if you can tie it. Yarn does work. It's just a little bit thicker.
Okay.
Got my 4 strings laid out.
Okay. I do too. They just don't look as nice as yours.
This is
All right,
another
there we go.
reason small string is easier than yarn. The hole's pretty small, and I got to get the string through it.
Okay.
So it's like threading a needle. You're just going to put the string through the hole. I say go through the hole, and then it's really hard to do. So you got to kind of grab it with my fingernail. Well, I see it's hard.
You know what I love? So we do have Phil behind the camera, but
Yes.
what a lot of people don't know is that sometimes we go through this program before we film, and Phil gives us some really good feedback on things. So I just want to give homage and appreciation because now we did not go through this one, and I'm thinking about it like maybe I should have gone through this one with Phil before filming it because I'm totally going off script as normal.
That's okay. Okay, well, let me demonstrate. I've got one through here because it might take us a little time to get them all done. I have my string, and now I'm just going to tie a knot. See how I have it through the hole? Just like you tie your shoe, the very first step of tying your shoe, which is fold it through the opening. You know, I remember a saying when I was a kid, but I can't remember what it is. Something about a rabbit. But for tying your shoe, do you know it?
No.
I don't remember. Anyway, if you wanted to tie your shoe, now do that again. Do that same step one more time. Put the end of the string through the hole, and then grab it, and, oh, I missed. There we go. Tie that knot. I have a tight knot there.
Science is about
And lay that
failing
out.
to succeed. So, and that's something Phil has definitely contributed in reminding us that science is about failing over and over and over, failing to succeed.
Because that's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we just got to get all 4 of these tied. So let me talk a little bit about what's happening here. So we've had one lesson about flight.
That kind of looks like
And we know that flight is about air. What happens with a lift is you have faster air moving over the top, creates low pressure, and the high pressure underneath, and that causes lift. So we're going to talk about kind of the opposite of that today. Today we're going to talk about what happens when things fall through the air. So imagine that you have a basketball in one hand and a piece of paper in the other hand. And you hold them up at the same height, maybe shoulder height, and you drop them. What do you think is going to happen? Which one's going to hit the ground first? The basketball or the piece of paper?
I'm going to guess the basketball.
Yeah, and so there's some reasons why. But if you drop 2 basketballs, they should land at the same time. If you drop 2 pieces of paper, they should land at about the same time. But what they have is different drag and different friction on them. And so that's what we're looking at today. We're going to talk about drag, which is resistance. Resistance and drag are kind of the same thing, and that's air resistance. And if you remember Captain Kruger saying that some wings are thicker to get more lift, but yet they get more drag because they have more surface area. So the more surface area you have moving through air, the more resistance you get against it and the more drag that you have. Typically, you want to alleviate drag because you want your airplane to be able to go faster, or you want your, like in a sailboat, you want to go further.
Right.
Parachute is the one thing that is completely opposite of that. We want to create as much drag as we can so that we fall slower.
That makes sense.
There's more resistance and we fall slower. And so we'll do an experiment with spreading our parachute out versus having it tighter together once we get it together here.
Oh, you know what? This looks like a jellyfish, doesn't it?
It totally does.
Yeah. Oh,
So
I'm excited about
now
this.
you need to tie your dinosaur on there,
Okay,
Misty.
okay.
I'll catch up here. I was
No, I'm usually the one who's okay. So, but I'm gonna wait because I don't know how to tie my
Do
dinosaur.
you remember tying the knot for the bird feeder? We tied a knot where we take all 4 strings at the same time.
Okay.
So let me get my end through here.
So should I fold
My hole is
my
actually not very
bag
big.
in half to do that? You think, or oh, my strings
you
are not
just
the
need
same
the
length,
end of
and
your
that's
strings
okay.
to be somewhat the same. You could actually even trim them if you wanted to, but if you just kind of hold them and they're kind of close, it'll work. So let me get this one done, and then I can show you. And mine are going to be uneven because I don't always tie the exact same knot
Yes.
with the exact same length. So I'm having a hard time getting my string through the hole.
I had to use the little pokey stick there, this little kebab stick that we're going to be using for next week, the
To
next
get that
lesson.
done. Okay, I have 4 knots. So what you want to do is get
Yours
all
looks like
your-
a jellyfish too.
It does. I'm going to kind of find the center. Hold that, let them all kind of hang. Pull them together like this and lay it down. Now I should have, my ends are fairly close to the same length.
Yeah, mine are too, even though I just folded it in half.
So you want to put them all together as if it's one string. Pretend that all 4, in fact, you might even kind of want to twist them up a little so they stay together. Now you're going to tie this around your dinosaur as one string. So just like we did with tying the knot there, you're going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to lay him down however you want to hold your dinosaur. And I'm actually going to move this over because it makes it easier for me.
All right.
Just tie like you tie your shoe, but tie all 4 strings at the same time.
Okay, buddy. I hope you
Same
have
thing,
a safe
like tying
landing.
shoes. And I need that to be higher on him. I hit his back end. There we go. And then just the same thing again. I don't know if you can see how I'm going to put the string through the hole. I'm kind of doing it backwards so you can see it. And then grab all the strings at the same time. Oh, I missed one, so I have to start again on that. Oh, there we go. Got him. Tie it. Now I have a knot on there. We have a knot. We have a parachute. And now we have a parachuting dinosaur. Now I've left my string here because I may untie it and tie a different toy on later. So I
okay.
cut it short. So when you talk about drag, and our table's kind of close. If I got this really close like this, like it's not open, and I drop him, it kind of opened a little bit for us, didn't it? But it's still, like if I fold it all up, it wants to open. Did you see that? And then and he fell pretty fast. And then if you actually open it up and drop it, watch what happens. He even went a little to the side. See how they glide a little bit?
Yeah.
So we don't have a place that we can get really high and drop these, but if you have a staircase or you go to the park and climb a slide and throw it off, you'll see that he'll glide slowly down because what's happening? We have a surface area, and the bigger the surface area, the more drag, air resistance going up against the gravity that's pulling it down, and that slows it down.
I'm going to toss mine in the air, and I want to warn
let's see what
everybody.
happens.
Heads.
Well, you kind of threw him to the side. It's all good.
Let me try that
We'll
again.
get him out of
Let's I'll be right there.
Be right back. Try it again.
Uh-oh.
Got it tingled in a tree. There you go.
Woo! Okay.
See, did you see when she was moving it? It was getting wind resistant. You can even pull it like a kite. That's how
right.
kites work too.
Let's try it again. Let's
Okay.
try it again. Oh, poor thing. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to name. Let's name you Apple. All right. Okay. I tried.
It's so if you go up high and you drop it, it'll open up and it'll give you drink. So you can try different sizes. Like with the bag, you could cut a big circle.
I got two.
And what do you think is going to happen with a bigger circle versus a smaller circle? You're going to get a lot more drag, right? So it's going to go slower.
Yes.
Going down. So we hope you've enjoyed this lesson and have fun with your parachuting dinosaur.
Absolutely. I just came up with another idea before we go. If you use one of those bags that have like that thing that looks like a target on it, you can maybe try to land your parachuting dinosaur or parachuting toy on that target.
There you go.
All right.
You can play all sorts of games.
Yes.
You can time them coming down.
That's right. You can go to the top of your stairs. You can ask maybe a parent to go to the top of the stairs too and see by their height difference from yours how that works. Yeah.
So have fun experimenting, and we'll see you next time on STEAM Kids Virtual Classroom.
Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so we're adding a fun little B-roll on this. We're going to try them from way up here. So here we go.
Who's hit the floor first?
The yellow one.
Oh, mine kind of hit the window, I think, and started down. Well, that was fun. Thank you. Bye.